Hi, everyone. I am Kelly. This is Two Broads Talking Politics Live. I'm joined by my co-host, Sophie. Hi, Sophie. In the house she just moved out of. And we are thrilled to be joined today by our political hero, Senator Elizabeth Warren. Hi, Senator Warren.
Hello. It's so good to be here with you.
Yeah, so I've got to say, in 3 years of podcasting and 450 some episodes, we have never gotten the reaction to a guest announcement that we did when we said we were talking to you. So there are knitters all over the country who want me to tell you how much they love you.
Oh, that is so sweet. But this is what happens when broads start talking, right?
I know, right?
Lots to talk about.
Yeah. So your motto is dream big, fight hard. I've got it on the back of a sweatshirt.
Yep.
So tell us what you are dreaming big about, what we could do when Joe Biden is elected president, we flip the Senate, and how we, all of us, help you fight hard to get that done after Inauguration Day.
So I love this. So you've got it exactly right. This is a 3-part plan. Part 1 is November 3rd, right? Everybody vote. We win. Yay. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in the White House, flip the Senate, red to blue, expand our lead in the House. Then part 2, 1 full day of celebrating. I mean, knock down, have a celebration, right? However you want to celebrate, celebrate. Then part 3, right back in the fight. Right back in the fight. Because we know what we're fighting for. We know what drew us into this fight, whether it's child care or student loan debt cancellation or expanding Social Security and disability payments, whether it's racial justice, hitting the climate crisis head on, corruption in government. Whatever was the piece that drew us in, now is the time. I am convinced that the door that was a little bit open in 2008 for change and was a lot more open back in the mid-1960s for change and was a lot more open back in the mid-1930s for change, that door is opening again. And what we have to do is, when a door starts to crack a little, right, you drop your shoulder and you run as hard and fast as you can at it. We're going to make change, and we're going to do it together because that's our power.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't know about you, but I am kind of super anxious right now.
I know.
What do you think? How do you think we should sort of manage ourselves to focus on get out the vote until the election? What are you doing to sort of keep yourself calm?
So I know that lots of people are running now on a mix of caffeine and anxiety. And the answer is channel your anxiety into action. So if you're just feeling like, oh, my tummy hurts here, or I'm chewing on my fingernail cuticles, or whatever it is, the answer is then volunteer an hour of making phone calls. Volunteer to do some texting. We can now reach voters all across America. So you get to pick the place you would like to be calling into. I've been talking to people, I'm up here in Maine right now, meeting with, helping get out the vote for Sarah Gideon, who's running for Senate, and of course for Joe and Kamala, and for our candidates up and down the ticket. But even on the road from Massachusetts to Maine, I was talking to folks down in Texas who are making phone calls all across Texas because they want to make that Senate race. They're trying to turn that one from red to blue. So this is a wonderful moment to be connected to people all around the country. People you may never see face to face, but people who share your values and people who want to see us make change and who know these are the last hours of the 2020 election. This is our moment to do it. So channel that anxiety. Now, I will say you're also permitted when you do this to do a little self-indulgent. I've been putting extra cream in my tea. And I've been drinking some of the sweet teas, just a little here and there. Maybe a few cookies on the side, just to keep us going. I like candles. So be good to yourself and channel that energy. You got so much to give.
Yeah. So you have endorsed incredible candidates up and down the ballot, all over the country, incredible progressives. What are you looking at in the election results? Not just everyone's going to be watching the presidential race. A lot of people will be watching the Senate, but what else are you watching for on election night?
Oh, that's a wonderful question. I've endorsed, it's a little over 150 candidates. So you can't ask me to call out one or two in particular. This would be like, which of your children is your favorite, right? But anybody can go to elizabethwarren.com and see them if they want to. For me, it's everybody who's gotten out there and just tried so hard. It's a lot of first-time candidates. I didn't just pick a bunch of safe candidates. They're all progressives, or I wouldn't be in it. But it's watching for a lot of first-timers, or sometimes it's second-timers. And I got to tell you, this is hard. We've got some folks who are running who came close but just missed it in 2018. And God bless them, who picked themselves up, dusted themselves off, and got right back in the fight. So go take a look, though, at elizabethwarren.com, and we can reorganize it. You can look at it a lot of different ways on the women who are running, people of color who are running, people are running in the South, people are running in the North, people are running on the coast, in the Midwest. We have such opportunities here, and we have such opportunities in the House, in the Senate, at the federal level, but goodness, in the state houses, I've got a couple for Secretary of State, because they're the people who control the elections. We're going to need strong progressive Democrats up and down the ballot. And by the way, I should add on volunteering. Yes, Joe and Kamala, absolutely, if you want to. Senate candidates, absolutely, if you want to. But understand, some of those state candidates, man, having a few people volunteer to do a few extra hours of making phone calls or texting, that could be all the difference in a race. So everybody, now's the time.
Yeah. So, Sophie, did you have a?
Oh, yes, I did. Sorry, my internet.
It's okay. I did the same thing, Sophie.
We came so close to having our first woman president in 2016, and we could have had her with Hillary Clinton, and we could have had her with you. And can you make us a pinky promise that that day is coming soon when we'll be able to see ourselves reflected in the presidency?
Yes, we're going to do this. It's going to take all of us. And understand this. One of the things that's happening now that's truly changing things from 2016 and even from early in 2020, all the women who are engaging now, women who are running, who are at the state level, at the local level, running for city council, women who are running for Senate, United States Senate, women who are running for vice president, all of those women, this is part of how we just keep building a movement, building. But it's also all the women who have volunteered, all the women who've said, look, running for office may not be for me, but I can help. I can make phone calls. I can get more people engaged. I can text people. I can help out everybody else. And that's how you create a force that's not only going to mean we're going to have a woman in the White House, pinky promise on that, but we're going to have enough women in the Senate, in the House, in our state houses, in our governor's offices, in city council, that it's no longer an issue. It's a part of who we are. We're 51% of the population. So the idea that, woohoo, we made it to 15% or 20% of the U.S. Senate, no. It's that we're going to have women in leadership roles all around this country. And that means leadership roles in politics, in business, in education, in all the things we do. That's how we build an America that works not just for some, but one that works for everyone. We're going to do this, Sophie. You and me. You ready? Get that pinky up, girl.
I got my pinky.
Good.
What advice do you have for women who, let's say, in their late 30s, early 40s, suddenly said, "Hey, maybe I want to run for office someday. You know, my kids are getting a little bit older. I might be ready for this." What's your advice?
Woohoo! That's my advice. Are you kidding? That's fabulous. And nothing works like just throwing your feet out there and doing it. So look around, figure out where the best offices are, the one that may fit you the best. Look and see who's there right now. Have you got a chance to change something from red to blue? And understand this, you can't just look at it as, well, would I be guaranteed to win? We can't just fight fights that we know we're going to win. You have to fight fights that are righteous fights, the right fights to fight. So get out there and then enlist your friends. You know some people, talk to them and say, I'm thinking about doing this. And if they don't just jump out of themselves to volunteer, volunteer for them. Ask them, tell them, because you have to believe in yourself. So you just got to be willing to put it all out there. I had someone ask me when I first ran for the Senate, back in 2012, and I never run for public office. And the very first kind of event I went to, you're not even technically a candidate at this point. And, I still remember this. It's on this guy's patio and everybody's out there. All these people are sitting around and they've all done this like 100 times. I've never done this. They've all sat there. And this guy said, what makes you think you're tough enough to ask people for money and for help? And I looked back at him and I said, I was Girl Scout cookie chair. But it's true. I believe. And that meant I was willing to help my little girls knock on doors for the Girl Scouts so that we could sell as many cookies as we could and make that happen. And it was the same way when I ran for the Senate. I knew very clearly why I was running. I think that's essential. And that meant I got out and I talked to people about it, and I got over the embarrassment of talking about yourself and asking for help and just did my best. And this was the amazing thing. I wouldn't in a million years have believed it. How many people said, look, I'm not running, but if you run, I'll help. Here's the part I can do. I can help you raise money for it. I can help make sure the office stays open and that I can give you Tuesday mornings. I can hold signs on the traffic circle. And that's how we made it happen. And I started out in a race. I wasn't supposed to win it. I was down 17 points. Person I ran against had this humongous, like 65% approval rating. But I got in that fight and more people came along and more people came along. And eventually I beat that guy by 7.5 points. So that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
Yeah. All right. So I know your time is short because you're on the road helping candidates, but tell us what's going to happen Tuesday. I've got all these anxious people watching and listening, and they want to know that we should have hope.
That's right. And we should. Look, right now it's looking really good, but we take nothing for granted. Nothing. We fight for every vote. We leave no voter uncontacted. We make sure that we're here. We're running hard all the way through. And that means all the way through till every ballot is cast and every ballot is counted. And I hope that happens by, late night on Tuesday, but it very well may not. It may take to Wednesday. It may take to Thursday. But we're going to hang in there because we believe in democracy. And we know that all across this nation, people are ready. They are ready for real leadership. They are ready for a president. They are ready for a vice president. They are ready for senators and representatives who care and who believe that government can be an instrument for good if we all work together on it. So I'm really hopeful about what lies ahead. And I'm hopeful because of all the people who are going to be on this podcast with us, all the people. I'm hopeful because when broads get together and talk, we make things happen. I'm hopeful for our future.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for being such an incredible inspiration.
So good to see you.
Yes.
Hannah, persist.
Always.
All right.
Thank you.